Okay, so this is a little video I'm just going to make on the current, I'm currently in the middle of a flare-up of PPPD. So for anybody that has the condition knows, it can be quite a frustrating condition. So for instance, I went there for pretty much all of December, January and February without really any dizziness at all. The dizziness comes and goes in waves. I actually thought there the last time when I kind of came out of it, you can sometimes get your hopes up. You're like, oh, maybe it's kind of gone for once, but sometimes it can come back too. I think the key is that when it comes back is to be super compassionate with it, because kind of like any injury or kind of anything that we have, if we work with it, it makes it an awful lot easier than working again. So for instance, when I would have got this at the start, I would have been constantly looking back at like, oh, it's because you went out that night that now you have dizziness this week, and there's a kind of lot of you beating yourself up about it, or maybe it's because I had too much coffee, or maybe because it's this, or maybe because it's that. A lot of the time there's not even a whole pile of reasoning to it. It could just be simply of the fact that for me, I know that when I'm working as a teacher and after a couple of weeks maybe of work, or a couple of months at this stage since we started in January, there's an accumulation of stress and overstimulation, and then I feel it coming on. But again, it's all about mindfulness, taking that minute just to sit down, maybe drinking an extra bit of water, and doing your CBT therapy on yourself, which is simply like for instance, if I know anybody that has PPPD would think the same as me. If I'm going to go into a supermarket, oh no, alarm bell rings, something's going to happen that's wrong. But again, you can actually really just look at it in a logical way. What actually could happen when you're in the supermarket? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen? Well, the worst thing that could possibly happen, I think, is that you could either A, maybe faint, B, be so dizzy that you can't even walk out of the supermarket, or maybe you might have a panic attack, which is 3. I think that's the 3 worst kind of things that could happen. Again, if you were driving a car or sitting in a car or in a taxi or an Uber or something like that, are you constantly thinking about all the dangers, even though there's probably a 99.999% chance, a higher chance of you dying in a car accident than there is in a supermarket, right? Supermarket accidents aren't very common, or at least if I don't know about them, if they are. So when you put things like that, it's not that bad. Yeah, sure, it could be better. Maybe you'd prefer it if you weren't dizzy, of course. But once you're compassionate with it, like, you know what, it's not that bad. Like, I mean, it's a very livable with condition. It comes and goes. And even when it is on, which is for me is at the moment, it's not super bad. Just another point on that kind of thing, just if you want to help yourself along. I currently find that I'm wearing glasses, and you can see these are transition glasses. I find these fantastic, particularly when I'm going through a flare-up. So I live here in Costa Rica, so it's on the equator or close to it, so light is quite strong down here. So when I'm in certain places, it causes me to become I feel a little bit disassociation, or I feel a little bit overstimulated. With these glasses, as you can see, I'm outside right now. I bought them last year I paid a good bit of money, but I had private insurance, so I got a lot of it back. But if you can get them like on Amazon for like $10, and maybe probably a cheaper pair, and they just reduce the light a little bit that much. So if you're in a place like a shopping mall or a supermarket or wherever you might find the PPPD is worse, I find that it just reduces the light that little bit and desensitizes you a little bit. And I'm not saying that it's like putting a bandage on it, but it just helps it. And again, it's like anything. If you've got a flu, you'd take medicine probably to help you along with the flu, or you'd go and you'd rest in bed. It's like anything. If you work with it rather than trying to work against it, then there's no frustration. So that's kind of the key thing with it, is that word frustration. And I know that anybody who has this condition that's watching this video would find the same as me, that it can be quite a frustrating condition, especially the fact that you could be playing sport and you can be fine, but you can be walking in a supermarket, which probably requires an awful lot less balance. So it can be kind of counterintuitive, in the sense that something that like running, which probably requires an awful lot more of your balance system working, actually you don't even notice it. But when you're in something super like easy like a supermarket, that's when it's actually worse. So for me, it's constantly reminding yourself, hey, this is okay. I have 2% today, that the system isn't just running on full cylinders. That's okay. Once you become compassionate with that and work with it, like i.e. using your glasses, not beating yourself down, not looking for constant solutions, that actually helps so much. And again, look, I've had this condition for 2.5 years now. I'm still getting flare-ups, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's plenty of other conditions in the world that you could have, and believe me, this is a condition that it's frustrating, but it's not dangerous. It's not even dangerous in the slightest. It can be frustrating, but not at all dangerous compared to anything else that you could really have, and you know, all the different types of things that's out there. So anyways, I hope you liked the video. Please give it a like, and again, message me if you'd like to talk about it. And again, as I always say, even if it's only 1 or 2 people that are seeing these videos, it's just coming from a normal guy that got it, and I'm trying to help other people come out of it the same, because I know how it can be quite a lonely condition and an invisible condition, because you're the only one that experiences it, and trying to explain it to another person can be quite difficult. So anyways, thank you very much. Have a great day.